And we are live into some Week 4 Chair League action. Friday night fights. We were already far underway to the draft. Didn't realize it was already underway, so that is my apologies. My name is Terra Spaz, and here I'm bringing you an excellent contest between so far undefeated, a mediocre at best in blue, and TeamUR in red. The map is Towers of Doom, and we've always got some bans on. I've already got some bans on Kael'thas and Illidan. Both teams obviously concerned in damage, but concerned about damage from the other team, but able to scoop some up for themselves. We've got a first pick Falstad for mediocre at best. He can pump out damage anywhere he wants to be on the maps. Very, very strong on towers. Likewise, Zagara and Brightwing to establish a big, strong lane presence and the mobility of Brightwing to support wherever's needed. And as we head into the second round of bans, we've got a Thrall and Li Ming. So mediocre at best has all the damage on God's green earth at their disposal. So it's just going to matter how they can set up the engagements to best utilize it. So it's very clear what their plan is up front, and if they can pull it off, it's going to be difficult to deal with for sure. Both teams still have the majority of their stoppage time left. They don't seem to have seen any surprises. Everything seems to be going according to plan. And we have a Lily ban for mediocre or for TeamUR, which is not something I've typically seen here in Chair League. Normally, there's a lot of other supports that are prioritized as banning, and that could suggest one of a few heroes coming up for TeamUR's next pick, but or maybe they just are concerned about the dragon Lily can put on people's heads or the blinds she can output. I mean, her healing potential isn't bad, and it could be that they just aren't looking to get a whole lot of stuns other than Brightwing's polymorph, so they don't want to have to come up with some other way of disrupting the cups. When we see a Tracer ban from mediocre at best, that might be, they may have sussed out what TeamUR was trying to go for there. It's hard to do damage as Tracer if you are blinded, and perhaps Lily, as the ban, was trying to set themselves up for a good Tracer selection, but the world will never know. It's not an option we're going to see available for TeamUR right now. Instead, they're going to start picking up Johanna. Very, very strong lane presence. Gonna survive well to scoop up experience, and certainly a good asset for the altars themselves. As is Sonya. Both ladies from the Diablo universe, and can certainly stay in a fight for a long time and either take a bunch of damage or dish it out. Appropriately, mediocre at best picks up Diablo themselves. There's some more of those stuns and battlefield control that their damage outputters are going to need, and if they're going with a more normal team, you'd expect their fifth pick to be some sort of support, and there's still plenty of options on the table. Only Brightwing and Li Ling have been removed by TeamUR in one fashion or another. I'm not quite certain what they'd be aiming to pick here. If they're looking to suss out more damage, they could scoop up a Rhaegar, or if they want to lock people down, they can get an Uther. But no, they picked Malfurion. It's Malfurion, and then Raynor finishing up the draft for TeamUR, and that's going to be it. So we'll hop into the game straight away and look forward for some excellent action. Bring back the sound here.
Melun, grant us strength.
And we are loaded into Towers of Doom on the blue team, mediocre at best. We have Sechel on Malfurion, as Falstad, Cucumber as Diablo, Dehefa as Thrall, and Blow Gently as Leeming. And on the red team, we have Zakor as Zagara starting in the top lane. We got Frostwind on Brightwing, Utputs on Sonya, Amalord on Raynor, and Apogee on Johanna. We've got lanes established on the side of mediocre at best. Looks like we're going to have a bit of a ball for TeamUR, and we'll see how this clashes in the middle of the map. Diablo hanging out in the bush, picks up Johanna, going to try to unload a good bit of damage, but she's going to walk safely away. It's one of the safer early game traits, makes her quite hard to kill. Bit of a dance going on here in mid. Meanwhile, Thrall by himself down at the bottom, just scooping up some experience. But it looks like Sonya's gonna come down and collect, and she's gonna have friends. Got Johanna coming down to help her out, so looks like we may see the two of them rotate back and forth between the lanes this game. Meanwhile, up at the top, we've got Zagara v Falstad. Zagara already doing a nice job setting up a lot of creep there, getting some good vision. And nothing too exciting yet. Nobody doing anything crazy. Just looking to correctly soak experience, make sure they don't fall behind before the first sets of towers come up. Most of the action's going to be here in the mid. Looks like Diablo's coming down to intercept Johanna. This is a fight that's probably not going to go anywhere without some help. Diablo just waiting in the bush, waiting to see if maybe other people are going to come help, but nothing so far just yet. No, everybody playing very safe, very standard. It's a nice, lovely game of thoughts here. Thrall in a little bit of trouble. He's got a 1v2 situation, not a lot of health. He'll tap the cup and should have full health just around in time for the thing. In fact, Diablo comes down, grabs Sonya, tries to unload some damage here. Bunch of it going down. Altar spawning in about 10 seconds. Sonya's not going to have a ton of health to deal with it. But she'll have plenty if everybody else pieces out. Looks like we've got the top trines going uncontested. The only big challenge is going to be here down at the bottom. We've got a 3-on-4 situation in the side of TeamUR. A lot of low health on Sonya. Now it's a A lot of low health on Mediocre at best. Diablo barely getting away. Falstad coming down to save the day, and meanwhile Zagara's trying to channel, gets interrupted by Brawl. And the fight keeps going. Zagara is going to get chain lightninged away. Rainer's in low health. He's going to have to disengage. And Johanna's in trouble too. She's going to fall. Brightwing doesn't have any good mobility at this point. It looks like she's... Oh no! No. Most everything must have been off cooldown. Brightwing will get away, but 2 of the first 3 towers will go to the side of Mediocre at best. Really tight engagement. When you see a lot of heroes escaping with low health like that, that's always a good sign that people are aware of their positioning. They know when they have to leave, how much fighting is too much. And all in all, good engagement from the side of Mediocre at best. Got the strong advantage on kills and a small advantage on core health as well. However, all that being said, Zagara got back to top lane very quickly once it seemed like it was going to be a lost cause. Got back to soaking that experience, and as a result, TeamUR is actually very barely ahead. So that's going to leave them in a good position for the rest of this. A lot of damage going down on Diablo. He's going to have to think about not engaging so much just for the interim. Zagara v Falstad going solidly on the side of Zagara so far. She's probably one of the best solo laners, certainly the best solo laner on the board right now, but awesome in the game. But now she might be getting caught out here. Diablo trying to pick her up and slam her, but she's gonna get away. Next shrine spawns here down at the bottom. We've already got 2v2 on there. Sonya with not a lot of health available, so she's gonna have to consider doing something, either taking the shrine at a high risk or going back to tap, and it looks like that's what she's gonna do. The whole team's here, 7 seconds until it spawns. We're gonna have a big brawl. Johanna trying to draw whatever attacks she can to protect her teammates. Polymorph goes down in Diablo. Falstad dropping on low health. The pursuit comes. He's gonna barrel roll away. Diablo now taking a bunch of damage. Johanna trying to keep everybody glued. Everybody on Mediocre at best at such low health. It looks like they're going to have to disengage. But again, no... Oh, I almost spoke too soon. Diablo does fall, and I think Mediocre at best might just have to surrender this shrine and go about their way, lick their wounds, and recover for the next fight. So good stepping up by TeamUR. They didn't get discouraged from that first round of fights. They came back and said, you know what, we can take this, and they show it very strongly. Li Ming trying to be a bit cheeky here, try and get some damage out on Sonya, but not quite enough to ruin her. Lightning fast wave clear from Thrall and Li Ming though, just detonating minions. Got 4 against them. Hopefully they're aware of what's coming. They're gonna eke out of danger. Meanwhile, Zagara's up here taking the top shrine. Diablo detects something is amiss, comes in there, barrel rolls her away. Not before Zagara takes the shrine, but it looks like they're just gonna do a bunch of damage to Diablo while he tries to fight him as is. Might need some help dealing with this, but looks like he's got it under control. Meanwhile, down at the bottom, a lot of damage piling up on Sonya. Falstad and Li Ming trying to dance around and pick her up, but it looks like help's going to arrive, and she's gonna get away safely. Malfurion rotates top, help poor Diablo out, trying to deal with these camps all on his own, but looks like the pair of them are going to deal with it. That camp is defeated. Falstad warps to the mid lane, try to glom up some last bits of experience before this altar here in the middle, or at the bottom rather. Numbers wise, it looks like TeamUR's got more bodies close to the altar ready to go. Diablo a little bit late to the party, but he's going to arrive just in time. Well, maybe.
Bunch of damage coming down on Sonya. Sundering going out, knocking him away. Not, fortunately, the wrong direction. Not enough to capitalize. Falstad turns into a pig. He's going to get away. Apocalypse goes down. Everybody slowly dropping health, but so far no one's immediately close to dead except for Diablo. He's in a rough spot, comes in through the back, and gets annihilated by the USS Hyperion. But we're not done yet. Sonya falls down. A nice one-for-one trade there, but the towers will go to the side of TeamUR, and they will take the first lead of the game. So a good, strong engagement. They did get a one-for-one, but they knew where the team of Mediocre at best was, and they used that chance to channel the shrine, get some damage out. And I mean, you could always make a case that a hero dying is certainly worth core damage, especially when there's so few ways to deal it in this particular map. TeamUR looking to take the shrines here. Mediocre at best might suspect it, but looks like they're gonna just try to push with their camp, get some damage out there. Brightwing and Johanna keeping them here long enough for Sonya to finish off that camp. She's gonna take it without problem. And so now it'll be TeamUR's turn to play escort to the Doom Patrol. A lot more safe rotations. Team's clearly waiting for the other team to make a move, make a rotation, maybe get out of position. Looks like TeamUR might have caught a little bit of Mediocre at best, but they were traveling in a big enough pack that the engagement wasn't a certain win for them. Shrine's going to be at the top. Teams rotating up there now, should be arriving in plenty of time. Bit of a party bush here for TeamUR, trying to catch someone out of position. Furion's going to root to discourage anybody from pursuing. A lot of damage going down on the side of Mediocre at best. Diablo rushes in there, tries to take out Raynor. He's not quite going to get it. A lot of damage on each side, and right now no one bothering with these shrines. They're just out looking for blood. Johanna gets in there to delay Thrall. The engagement goes down, a lot of damage dropping on Raynor. He's going to barely get away. Still no takedowns and channels on each side, so each team gets their respective shrine. And I gotta say, both teams are playing very, very tactically, very safe. They know they're getting to such low health, so they're staying in the fight as long as they can to use every bit of board impact the hero has, but they're, for the most part, they're leaving at just the right time so they don't get taken down. Really, really solid play on both teams. Thrall recognizing his spider sense going off, recognizing that trouble's probably headed his way, and backs up to his tower. At the top, Zagara's still doing a decent job trying to hold off Leeming and Falstad, but taking a lot of damage. Spoke too soon. That explosive burst potential from Leeming got Zagara. She got too cheeky, that Zerg Queen. They're gonna press the advantage. Mediocre at best, trying to scoop up this camp. Two assassins just unloading damage. Very absolute damage to those two heroes. They can certainly pump it out. Not going to be a lot of capitalizing done from that camp as TeamUR cleans it up before they can get a lot done. And we're at another big shrine wave with shrines appearing at top and bottom. Looks like we're going to have a whole lot of members from TeamUR at their shrine. They want to make sure they can get this for sure. They have a lead, and they might be okay trading 2 for 1 if they have to, but they certainly can't surrender all 3. But Mediocre at best is going to try to deny them. Malfurion back at home channeling his. Diablo taking a lot of damage. Moore's on the way, and he's gonna get deleted. That Gust coming just instants too late. And so the attention turns down to the bottom. Each team taking their shrine at the top. We've got a 2-on-2 Johanna at about half health against a Li Ming and a Thrall. Falstad arrives to see if he can add to the pile. We got a 4-on-2 in favor of Mediocre at best, but some stuns and a lot of damage coming out. The regrowth's not gonna really be enough there. Big Sundering coming out from Thrall, getting a lot of damage out on TeamUR. Sonya's dropping on low health. Falstad's dropping on low health. Getting close to a takedown on both sides. Sonya's gonna fall. We've got a 4v3. Li Ming trying to eke out just one more takedown before everybody escapes, and looks like TeamUR is just gonna surrender the one takedown and the shrine. And we are tied at 20. Meanwhile, up at the top, Zagara trying to get revenge on that lane for her last takedown and get a bunch of damage through. She manages to get the towers down and just a few shots off on the core. Nothing too devastating yet, but the game is still young. A big 4v3 push on the side of Mediocre best here in the bottom lane. Not a whole lot going to come from it. They're not looking to extend super far. They're just content to let this camp do what it's going to do. Good blink from Brightwing there to dodge that hammer. Nice use of a really short cooldown ability. And it's things like that. It's not, you know, a huge, overwhelming advantage. It's not going to change the tide of the game. But all those little incremental things, they do add up to a TeamUR that's shown an excellent performance here so far. They haven't gotten frustrated from being behind and have equalized the game almost perfectly. Combat here in the mid possibly brewing. We got a 3v1 against Thrall. Thrall's looking to have no part of this, just throwing out damages the best he can. But it looks like the pocket's going to collapse on Johanna. Diablo gets in their way, gets to relocate Johanna to a bad place. Sundering keeping it down. Diablo's health dropping really low, eaten by the Maw. Now it's Li Ming and Falstad versus the rest of the team, and Falstad wisely gusts everybody away, tries to bring his team to safety, but Li Ming's not quite going to get there. Looks like Malfurion's at low health too. He's going to drop. Diablo too, and we've got a 3-0 on the side of TeamUR as altars spawn in just 5 seconds, and it looks like they're going to be in a good position to scoop both of these up.
Lay claim to the altars. Do not disappoint me.
Johanna channeling at the bottom by herself. The fight's going to be here in the middle. It's a 4v3 still in favor of TeamUR, and Johanna is on the way, but not before. It looks like Sonya's going to fall out. But a good trade for Falstad. We're back to a 4v2. Mediocre at best just trying to get away, trying to get back to the safety of their tower, and looks like they're just barely going to get there. Meanwhile, Brightwing completes the channel, and now TeamUR has a quite substantial advantage. Core at 12 health for the side of Mediocre at best, and that's not a lot to play with. You can't afford too many lost team fights. Boss suddenly becomes significant. 12 is not a place you want to be. TeamUR scooping up their camp. Mediocre at best, thinking about it, kind of posturing, but realizing as close as TeamUR is, maybe that's just a bit too risky before everybody can ball up and collect together. Falstad by himself in the top lane, Raynor by himself in the mid lane. But all that is, as we've seen in this game, is very quick to change. Very, very fast rotations from each team. As we see now, Raynor immediately gets a lot of help and assets. We've got a big swarm of Mediocre at best here in the bottom. Thinking about chasing out the Zagara, but not looking to go too deep. They're not sure what might be lurking in the shadows for them. The sting and memory of that last team fight might be burned in their heads too much to try to risk anything further. And again, I mean, they're just a smidgen of experience behind. It's still a very even game in everything except for core health. And it's unlike a lot of maps. I mean, if your core is at low health, you can still close out your opponent from getting any. So they're There's still plenty of fight yet. Siege camp's getting cleaned up at both times. Both teams got eyes on the boss. TeamUR detects Diablo's eyes, and they've got enough numbers to push him away. So he's not going to be able to do a ton of damage by himself. Shrine spawning in 15 seconds here in the middle. Both teams rotating down to focus their efforts on this. There's not really a whole lot else on the map to be doing at the moment. Certainly nothing more important than the shrine. A lot of good spacing from each team, not trying to dive in and engage too hard. Ma goes out, just scoops up Diablo. For right now, it's a 5-on-4. Falstad's going to eat some damage, but he should be able to get away just fine. Brightwing thinks about channeling, decides not to. A bunch of damage going out. Apocalypse dropping's going to hit Zagara. A lot of damage going down on Falstad. He's going to fall. Thrall chases away Zagara. Brightwing looks like he's going to save her. An excellent root will be the end of Raynor, keeping him in place while all the damage trains come in. And right now we're down to a 3v3. Zagara comes back to turn this into a 4v2, and this looks disastrous for Mediocre at best. It's a total team wipe for them, and the shrine will go to TeamUR again, bringing their meager health total from 12 down to 8, and almost worse than that, they're going to be off the board for a full 30 seconds. TeamUR is going to be able to do just about anything they want, and they have plenty of options here at their disposal. They could be knocking down forts, they could be going for the boss, they could get some siege camps, and just all Mediocre at best can do is watch the minimap and see what new horrors await them. And boss is going to go to TeamUR. That 8's going to fall to 4. And now Mediocre at best has to play flawlessly. If they, even assuming that TeamUR can't get any more buildings out of this, you know, any one shrine is now a game loss for them. And that's not the only threat. The siege camps at the bottom collectively could represent 6 damage. If it's going to be a while before the boss respawns, but if that becomes a factor, they have to worry about that too. It's really hard being at 4 health on this game, on this particular map. TeamUR not finished pressing their advantage. They're gonna rotate away, try and get some takedowns here if they can. Playing very safe, sticking together, not looking to give Mediocre at best any inch to get back in this game. They're trying to preserve what they got. They barely managed to get the siege camp in time before Mediocre at best comes in. They're just gonna collect those winnings and withdraw. Well, Mediocre at best knowing the stakes as well. Fortunately for them, the next shrine spawn is just 1 here at the bottom in 20 seconds. So they're not going to have to play a guessing game of where to focus their attention with TeamUR. They can commit all their resources to this defense, because again, if they can't stop TeamUR here at 1 level down, they're going to have to watch Cannonball to end their game here around the 21-minute mark. Zagara getting out a little far, going to take a lot of damage from Li Ming. Storm Shield drops. Going to keep everybody nice and well. Most heroes are still fairly decent health. Zagara a bit low. Diablo's starting to drop. Apocalypse goes down. Ma only eats 1 person. Still a 5v5. No takedowns yet. Diablo's gonna finally fall. His second Apocalypse goes down. Doesn't seem to hit anybody. Falstad's gonna be right behind him. Malfurion's at low health. I think he's gonna... No, he's gonna hit his regrowth control. Johanna's channeling. They gotta do something to interrupt and stop this. They can't afford not to, and that's gonna be 4 cannonballs, and that's 4 cannons for the game.
Red team is victorious.
And that was, especially in the early and the mid game, that's what I really like seeing on Towers of Doom. Just excellent positioning, excellent use of everybody's abilities. It was a really strong performance of both teams, but I gotta hand it to TeamUR. They didn't get discouraged. They were behind all the way up until their core was at 20 health when they managed to equalize it. But from that point on, they just had the superior presence in team fights. That frontline bullying of Sonya and Johanna just ironically overpowering Diablo. And once Diablo fell, everybody else was ripe for the pickings. The options for Mediocre at best were retreat or get destroyed, and that happened. Both those options happened at different times, and neither one was great for them. But at the end of the day, well played for both teams. That was certainly deserving of a 3-0 versus 3-0 match out of the placement division, and that was excellent work. Excellent work with both teams for the first 4 games of Season 2, but there is only one W, and today that W goes to TeamUR, so congratulations to them. They will exit placement undefeated. It's a good badge they can always have, but Week 5's coming, and who knows what awaits both these teams in the future. So one last time, congratulations to both teams. This has been Terrace Baz bringing you Heroes of the Storm on Chair League, and I'll see everybody in the Nexus. Take care. Bye.